Yo, I'm back. Part two of basic systems. Today we're gonna be going over the combat system, the inventory system, and the progression system. All right. So the combat system: light attacks, heavy attacks. There's gonna be a 4-hit M1 combo. You click 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the fifth hit, which is gonna be the heavy attack, your character is gonna automatically do a heavy attack if you can manage to complete a full M1 combo. You don't automatically do it. You only do it again if you click that time and complete the combo. Otherwise, you just do a normal few light attacks. Blocking, dodging, and parrying. Blocking will be just basic blocking. Dodging will be basic dodging, dashing left, right, forward, backwards. Parrying will be basic parrying. You parry. Player punches you, player I don't know, they kick you, they attack you with their sword, something like that, you parry. Likely gonna be F, like every other button. Blocking, hold F. Parry, press F. Same thing. Weapon categories: light, medium, and heavy. There will be hand-to-hand combat, or there'll be fist combat. That will be in the light category. Things like daggers, or certain things, and just I don't know. I don't really know what to call light weapons, but. And then you got medium weapons like swords, katanas, stuff like that. And then you got like heavy weapons or like battle axes, scabbards, if I even know what that is. A spear, I think that counts as a heavy weapon. I actually don't know. Stamina. Stamina will only really matter for like climbing. I plan on adding a feature where you can climb. Stamina will be a part of that. You lose stamina when you climb. That's it. How damage plus stagger works is damage is increased through your stats with your strength. And yeah, that increases how much damage you do in general. It also depends on what you're using. So let's say you're using your hand, the light weapon, it'll do less damage than a sword or a giant battle axe. That'll just be heavier. But yeah, that's and stagger is just like what happens after you get parried. Someone parries you, you're gonna get like staggered. And next is the inventory system. Gear categories are helmet, chest, gloves, face, etc. Etc. means so gear categories. What it's actually called is equipment. It's the equipment category. Equipment would be your helmet or your head slot, your chest slot, or your torso slot, and then there's your legging slot. So you got your hat. You can put a hat on if you want. Or a helmet for protection. You got maybe your chest piece or your shirt or jacket for stuff like that. Cosmetics, things to put on. Leggings. And there's no feet and stuff, obviously. But then we have the gear, which is going to be located on the sides of the equipment. You have footwear. It'll be like a boots icon. There'll be gloves that are hand wear. On your hands, that'll be on there. They'll have like a little glove icon. There'll be a ring slot. There'll be a belt slot, and there will be what was the last one? It was boots, hands, and face. Face will be the last one. Then you click on your face, right? Weapons and rarity. Some things will be rare. Loots. You might find loot chests around, stuff like that. Depends on what you're fighting. Where you're fighting, stuff like that. That's mainly like PvE stuff. Players won't really. It don't really matter that much with players. Consumables. There might be like potions in the game or stuff that you eat to get stronger. There won't be stuff like you don't have to eat. It won't be like that type of survival game where you eat food to stay alive or drink to stay alive. It's just combat mainly. So consumables doesn't mean like food. Pies and stuff. It just means oh yeah, you eat that, you'll heal a little bit, or eat that, you'll gain I don't know, maybe you'll have infinite stamina for a little bit, something like that. Potions, you have more immunity to fire damage and stuff like that. Weights will be controlled by the strength stat as well, and dexterity, I believe it was. Weapons too heavy, whatever armor you're wearing is too heavy, stuff like that. Basic, right? Can't wear it, it's too heavy. Wait until your strength is this high, something like that. Dexterity is this high. Then you can put it on. Progression system and final for this video. Progression is how players improve stats, and below that is strength, constitution, focus, etc. There are 6 stats that you have to worry about. There's your strength, there's your constitution, there's your dexterity, there's your luck, your mana, and your focus. And to be honest, 2 simple ones are strength and constitution. All I worry about is your strength and what you can carry on you, how much damage you do, you know. Constitution worries about like durability and your health. That's it. Dexterity is, you know, dexterity is like movement, how fast you are, how easy it is to dodge and stuff like that. How likely are you to escape combat with dodges, stuff like that. I don't think I'll be going over focus because it's just that much to explain, but you know, there's just luck increases like critical hit chances and stuff like that, the loot that you might get in a chest, something like that, rarities. The mana will be, it's literally just mana, you know, control how strong your magic attacks are and stuff like that. Your mana pool, you'll be able to increase it with your mana stat. That's how stat points affect gameplay. You know, you get stronger, you get more health, stuff like that. How players get pure Pneuma. There will be 2 ways to get pure Pneuma. There'll be a shrine bosses, which I covered in the last video, and there'll be absorbing other players. So you'd fight the player for a while, and then eventually, after a couple of actions, after a couple of things take place on your end, you will finally be able to absorb their pure Pneuma from them and add it to your own. I'll get onto that in a future video on how that works. And how death affects progression. Death affects progression, and I'd say it's a lot to go over as well, but more of you die, you get 3 lives in the game. Pure Pneuma will be the base part of the game. You know, pure Pneuma is your life energy. You lose too much, you die permanently, stuff like that. So yeah, I'll get over that on another video too. There's not much to go over here. It's just you have 3 lives. You could die from losing too much pure Pneuma. You know, you start the game, go in there, you get wiped. And it's just, there's a wipe system, obviously. You die 3 times, and you get wiped. And you gotta start all over from the start. Which is what I kind of don't like about games, but at the end of the day, this is what makes games as challenging and fun. So, yeah, that's it. That's it right now. Nothing else to go over for this part. And I'll be posting the 3rd video shortly after, so there'll be more to go over there. All right, toots.